Okay. I'm going to have leg bound.
Good evening, class.
Good evening, sir. Good evening,
Good
Prof.
evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. So today class is just an introductory class. So we'll go through our capstone project that we'll be working on.
Good evening, Prof.
Yes, good evening. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, Prof, we can hear you.
Okay. Good. Then I'm happy that you can hear me. I was saying that today's our first class, an introductory class, where we will go through our capstone project, what I was going to do in the term, and then we will start by looking into some basic issues in let me just get this right. We'll be looking into how to be able to analyze the external environment, and then we'll look at certain key things that tend to matter when we're talking about strategy. Okay, so that's what we'll do today. So let me start straight from the capstone project, and then we will look at the other things. I'll be combining both slides and then information from my text, the text that hopefully will be available on this Friday for you. So that next week, by next week Monday, you can pick it up from the bookshop. Okay, so thank you very, very much for everything that and for joining the class today. We hope to make it a meaningful time for all of us. Okay. We hope to make it a meaningful time for all of us. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let me just share my screen. Simple. Trying to share my screen and giving me feedback. Good. Okay, thank you. I think it's done right now. Good. So those of you who met me on Thursday, I told you that the class is being taught by two lecturers. Obviously, fine with me myself, and I myself. And then we are covering the use of strategic management concepts to be able to help organizations leverage data for organizational value. And part of what we'll be doing to analyze certain firms. So part of what I'm going to do is to take it. Olivia, you are disturbing us today too. Good. Part of what we are going to do is to go through what Angela Cooker, welcome, what is required of us throughout the time, and then by the end of the 10-week period, what you should have been able to do. So can I get somebody to volunteer to read what we are seeing, the capstone project, starting from the heading here? Okay, Angela, here is your hand.
So can I start?
Okay, so, okay.
The capstone project, your 12-month analytics strategy for Ghana Fresh. The organization, Ghana Fresh Limited. Ghana Fresh is a mid-sized family-owned agribusiness based in the eastern region of Ghana, specializing in exporting pineapples and mangoes. Led by founder Ekuya Mensah, the company operates in a highly competitive global supply chain where quality, consistency, and cost control are paramount to survival and growth. The core challenge: value leakage and decision uncertainty. Despite growing sales volume, Ghana Fresh faces three critical interlinked challenges that erode profitability and threaten long-term competitive advantage. One, high post-harvest losses between 20% and 30%. A significant portion of harvested fruit is lost or downgraded due to spoilage between the field and the port. This massive value leakage is caused by unpredictable harvest timing, delays in field to packhouse transfer, and inconsistencies in the cold chain. This is a massive cost of delay for the business. Two, unpredictable and rising logistics costs. The cost of refrigerated shipping and overland transport is highly variable. Without predictable costs, Equia Mensa struggles to negotiate firm profitable forward contracts with major European retail buyers, increasing business risk. 3, untapped local market potential. The company has a growing but inefficient local packaged products line, that's juices and dried fruits. Decisions regarding product mix and inventory are currently based on intuition, leading to high packaged product inventory waste, stockouts or excess inventory, and inconsistent profits. Tech- Your mission: the 12-month analytics strategy roadmap. Your mission is to develop a 12-month analytics strategy and implementation roadmap that strategically applies the course frameworks to transition Ghana Fresh from relying on intuition and oh my god, who's calling me? Sorry, Mike. So should I continue? The strategy must demonstrate how a focused investment will deliver a measurable economic value creation, EVC, primarily by decreasing cost, reducing losses and waste, and increasing willingness to pay, improving quality and reliability. Project focus areas and strategic narrative. Your final deliverable must tell a cohesive story across the following phases, demonstrating fluency in both strategy and execution.
Okay, you can pause there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay. Angela, are you available to continue?
Yes, but Doc, I'm traveling at the moment, so I can't speak right now.
The guide you continue, not you. So thank you very much anyway. Anita, your hand was up earlier. And okay, so
Okay.
So wait, I'm coming on. Nathan and Ohene, please wait. So the first part of the work, let's try to understand it. We have Nathan, can you explain what you think you read from the first part?
Okay, so explaining my own words what the first part means.
Means to you, yeah. Means to you.
Okay, sir. So Ghana Fresh, it's a family-owned business, and they face certain challenges with regards to their business. So with high post-harvest losses, what they mean is after they harvest their produce, there's significant loss after the harvest before it goes to the transportation aspect or to the consumers. Let me put it that way. So one of the main things that causes their post-harvest losses is unpredictable harvest timing. So I'm sure there's no specific time, there's no data for specific harvest times. So they can't pinpoint the exact period they will be harvesting their produce. And as a result of this, there are significant delays in transferring from the fields to their pack houses. And also unpredictable rising logistics cost. It means that they do not have a definite logistics cost to transfer their produce. So they find themselves having to negotiate all the time instead of having a fixed cost which they can use to which they can put into their plans so as to be able to plan effectively. And as for untapped local market potential, so they do not have a definite they do not have definite data with regards to their product mix and inventory. So everything is based on what they think and their intuition. In my own words, that's what I think, sir.
Okay. Does anybody want to add on what he read from here? Okay, I'm not seeing anybody's hand up, so let's continue. Okay. So the phase one of every challenge that you are given to, for every firm that gives you a challenge, is to look at doing a strategic assessment and framing of the problem. So that's what you see here in the phase one. So what we'll be learning is trying to get to know tools that help you to do some assessment. The assessment, there's two types of assessment. You know that GFresh is an exporter. So you can't look at just only internal assessment. You have to also look at external assessment. So we are going to learn how to do an external assessment of look at the external forces, such as things from the EU, things from fuel cost, and then look at the internal one too. So we need tools to be able to do that. And by that, we'll go through things of PESTEL, Porter's 5 forces, and value chain analysis, and there are other tools that are there. Then after that, we have to define a vision of what we can do concerning the situation. The vision may not be final, but
it's about the shelf listing.
Those of you are disturbing us. If I kick you out of this, you can't join the lessons again until the time which is over because of the way I've set up the link. So please don't let me kick you out, or else you have to register with a new and even with a new email address and all kinds of get a new account in Zoom. Okay, so watch yourself. Make sure your mic. I mute you. You're on mute. I mute someone not. I mute and you're on mute. You make it on mute. I don't know what you want to tell us. Whether you have got some $1 million you want to share with us. If it's not even that. Anyway, next time you do that, Gloria Bunny will not invite you to the hangout she's doing for us this weekend. She's doing some fufu hangout for us. She should not invite you. So if you want to get invited to Gloria's fufu hangout, please pay attention and work well. Gloria, is that not true? I think she's asleep herself. Anyway, let's continue. So from there, you go to your strategy canvas, where you define a high-level vision. So we'll go through what a vision is, and then what informs making a vision, and then try to look at how we can reflect vision to mission to your goals or strategic goals, and then how do you define SMART goals? So we'll also then link the vision to the strategy. Then we use the analytics strategy canvas. That's the most important canvas today we'll pick up. Some of them are already in the book, but the one that we'll try to work on today will be the analytics strategy canvas. We'll also look at other methods called like decision first approach, which is a very good way of looking at linking vision and strategy. Then we now define the problem in itself. So we go to actionability. They construct the number one critical decision, such as number one problem we all see here, which Nathan mentioned, is the harvest optimization. So what can we do about it? So how can we turn the harvest optimization into a precise user-centric problem statement using the jobs to be done model? Then there we link our goals to a measurable goal. Then we create our forcible hypothesis so that in case it doesn't go there, what are we actually expecting and how do we expect it? Okay, so after strategic framing, you move on to another phase you call prioritization and measurement, which looks into chapter 3 and 4 of the book. That's economic rationale, looking at how to manage your portfolio vis-a-vis what you want to achieve, the economic value you want to create. There are quite other, remember they mentioned that cost of delay is one of the issues. So we calculate cost of delay, look at the weighted shortest job first or the RISE model. These are models that have explained the simplest form to be able to enhance understanding. Then we go to a measurement plan, defining a single overall evaluation criterion. But there are other things that we'll be doing, like using a balance scorecard to do other stuff. But here we'll draw on the North Star metric and KPI trees to be able to define appropriate KPIs for what we want to do. Then after we have implemented these, define these things, we now look at our link with data during the execution, design an essential data set. What data set do we need to be able to get optimize our harvest for objective one? How do you establish a trustworthy data pool? That what are the clear service level agreements we need to ensure quality and freshness? Remember, he mentioned that in his project. Then operating one, propose a lean organization model using operating model one-page operating model framework, and then using an analytics translator role, responsible for bridging the gap between, sometimes an executive like a QA minister can be very high and the thinker team can be very low. How do you build them to come and think one? So bringing governance to the shopping floor or to the farm floor, if I should say that. Then experimentation, we can derive an experiment where we can test some of our initiatives. We think about the fact that can we do an experiment in which we test one of our hypotheses and see what will come out. This one we will do it more theoretically because we are not actually owning a farm. Then look at our potential risk in all of these things that we have been doing. What are the potential risks? How do we measure or evaluate the risk? And then how do you propose a mitigation strategy for each? Then at chapter 10, we bring into how to finalize this whole thing, define our value realization plan, demonstrate how we move from our hypothesis number 2 to our validated business value, outline the strategy to ensure adoption by end users, and then finally deliver our deliverable. So in the final stage, you are going to do a presentation to a number of people. Usually we have got our analysts who come around and they'll listen to you yourself. If I can get a QM inside yourself or somebody from the company, you will talk to them and then we will respond to what they have told us we should do. And we will see, usually the analysts are from different different strategic, different managers and executives in their own role, in their own way, from their different companies, and they come and they share on, listen to the students and give them feedback. So what you'll be doing is that you will do a board-ready presentation as a group to requirements and other executive, 10 to 20 slides, and then number 2, a 2-page summary which you give to a PI herself and her financial manager on the net realized value of the plan and the total required investment to be able to get it done. This experiment base should provide a detailed guidance to produce a high-quality capstone project, linking every decision back to the economic reality of GH Fresh. Okay, so technically, if you have any questions, you can let us know, and then we'll be giving it to you as it may come. Last year, the students went to sit down in their group and they came to ask for more information. Some like they want bank account. Some things were not given to them, like they want details on maybe performance of something over the last 6 years or the last 5 years. So I can see a class of 48. That's a very big number. Or people are joining from other groups.
Yes, please.
Okay. So whichever group that you are going to be in, to be able to make this one easy on me, I need to be able to, because it's a competition, so I need to have enough groups. There are 4 groups that I'm teaching. That 4 groups is even enough for the competition. But I think I want to have internal group competition. So what will happen is that, like Monday group, you divide yourself into 2 or 3, maybe a maximum 15 or in a group. That'll give us about 2 groups or 3 groups. And then when I say maximum, I'm trying to say that minimum 15 in a group, maximum maybe 20 in a group. Then what will happen is that you come up with you start working on it. We're not collecting it now. It's collecting it is like usually the face off is in the Christmas week or the week before Christmas. So as I teach and things you'll be doing, but there will be time that we can randomly call for a progress report to see what you have done so far and give you feedback. That's as a lecturer, but they're not from the judges. The judges, you don't meet them until that day. And then if your group needs some information, they put it together and I can get it for you. As much you don't wait till December come and ask me that we now want this from the company. I'll tell you I can't get it. And if you don't take it, you'll not do well in the project or the business challenge. So I'll give you this document. I have an extract of it from the book, and I'll give it to you as your strategy challenge cap document, and you start thinking about how to work on it. Any question on this before I go ahead? Emmanuel Nati.
Hello, Prof. Good evening.
Emmanuel, are you? I don't think you're the one from Ministry of Agric. I think the guy is called.
No. I'm not from Ministry of Agric. Prof, I wanted to find out, will we be giving additional information or we have to call for the information?
You will call for the information because it's like you are going for a business competition. You are the one who you should complain. You are the consultant. Tell us what you need. If it's possible, we'll give it. If it's not possible, if we don't think you don't need that information, we tell you don't need that information. You have enough. So as we go through that's why when you get the handbook, you should go through most of the chapters very fast because you see things that you'll be required to do and to be able to inform your decision and stuff. But whatever will happen, as I teach and we go on, you'll be applying what you are teaching and we'll be discussing it in class. But I'll be giving you generic answers that I can give you, like if it's a general body. So you have to look at, okay, this is Prof's view of how the people should look at it. For example, I already have a matrix of the harvest optimization strategy that I thought they should take. But you can't copy my own. You need to go and sit down with your team and do your own. And remember, now I'll give you, let me give you an example. This first statement here should tell you a lot. Here. Should tell you a lot. So it should let you go and ask yourself, Eastern region, exporting pineapples and mangoes. What is the average farm size there? What's the average revenue there? Look at other firms that are in the business and stuff and get an idea. You will not meet GH Fresh per se because at the end of the day, we have combined problems for our 3 companies to generate this so that it doesn't one company's problem or doesn't become looked at and becomes a leak that Trefu oil plantation has this problem. Students are like, by the time I realize, say, I'm the one who even give them a solution for their problem. So we have tried to combine about 3 or 4 companies' problem into one document, so that at the end of the day, we can hide the identity. But you can go and read about this, and even these people even are in the around towards the blue skies. They also do something. So go and get some data to guide yourself. So if you're making decision, the decision is based on relevant information, and they will also give you what you can get. So if you're asking for something about the company, I will do my best to get it for you. But if you're asking something in general about the industry, that one I expect you to go and do your own reading. Is that understandable? You have a follow-up question? Okay.
Yes. So, Prof, if I understand what you are saying, if
Yeah.
this scenario is a mixture of companies, does it mean that we can make up our own data
No, you
or
can't
pull
make,
data from?
no, you can't make up your own data per se. I can give you data for you to work on. The only data you can go and make up is your industry data. That one I don't have it. You are the one going to. You are the one coming to. This is coming from Ministry of Health. This is coming from this. That one you are the one telling us. That one I don't have a problem. Do you understand me? It means that you have actually factored the information that you need to be able to make a decision. That's all it means. So I don't have a problem about that part. But the one about the company, it has to be accessible to all. So if you ask me, like let me say your company comes to ask me that I should give you a number of employees and then how much they pay the employees or something. I'll bring it to you and how many farmers they have on every field. I'll bring it to you. When I bring it to you, I will share it with all the companies. But you know what you're going to use it for. Doesn't
So,
mean
so
that
Prof,
company knows what you're going to use it for. Yeah.
for instance, if we need information about their harvesting intervals, their current harvesting intervals, the volume they are harvesting, all that,
Because,
will we get?
yes, to reflect this unpredictable ability. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and then to help
So,
us
so
predict.
if you're asking that one, make sure that you have a table and you have given us all the kind of variables you want, because this is a lot of information. I can't go around asking. I'll bring the first one, say that, but you left this one out. So make sure you have something to ask me, and you also be realistic. I can't be chasing companies up and down for tomato and then in toast and things and stuff. Make me, this is my pineapples and mango. So I leave him narrow down to this one. Don't be asking things which are outrageous. Otherwise, last year somebody asked a question. They wonder when the company rejected it, and I felt very bad. The way they told us about you, Prof. How can we give you this information? You yourself, does it even make sense? And I told you, so I can't tell the companies that you're asking outrageous stuff. How can you ask a company that how did you determine you are getting losses? Show me how you determine you get losses. How if the person says he's getting losses, you can't show you how he's determining. It's like you're asking him that he should do your work for you. So what the company did that they just gave them the data and said go and read. And the data they read, and now they realized that they were confused. Because the percentage the company gave them, they were now getting either low or high, depending on how mathematics you use it. So the company didn't tell them what they were using to calculate their losses. They just gave them the data and said, you to go and read it. What is important to us to meet our export demand is what we use to calculate, but we won't tell you anything. You say you want this information we are giving. So if you don't take care, you ask for information and you don't know. And then one of the problems that the judges pointed out to some of the groups who didn't do well is that they had graphs, but they couldn't connect the graphs to their decisions. That's another thing we realized. A lot of the students were doing very interesting analysis and dashboards, but they couldn't relate it to the decision. It's like the decision was sitting somewhere else, and the graph and the board was also somewhere else. And I realized that the problem I had was that last year, when we were just doing management concept, we didn't learn about techniques that helps you to link data and how you align your data requests with strategies you want to take. And that's why this semester, I don't want to rely on only management concepts. I want to actually put people's fingers into actual writing and putting things together. How do you link strategy together with this? How do you link data together with that? That's why the approach is different. And it's because last year I myself got a critique. And it's because I realized because of the way we're teaching them. Remember, you are not in your second year in which you have finished all the programs. You are in your first year, and you are pushing you to think like this. So I know that it's not everybody that may be able to think out of the box, but we are pushing you to think out of the box. I wish I would have been teaching strategy for analysis at the end of the program, but it's also good. It helps you to really think differently. Yes, Gloria.
Yes, thank you, Prof. Please, I want to ask the groupings, should we form them ourselves?
Oh, yes. Okay, I don't want to say. But you want a good balance of female. You don't put all the female in one group. I will not.
Okay.
Number two, you also want a good mix of people. And then you have to look at the roles you want. So maybe group leaders should see how the roles they want. Because that's they define roles. They define their data analysts. They are define the manager, who is the CEO of the group. So your consultant, who is your CEO, who is your secretary, who is your data person, who is your liaison with Ministry of, that was Ministry of Health. This is Ministry of Food and Agriculture. So there's somebody in this class who works there. If it's in your group, he can be the link there. So he can give you some background data. And I have Planting for Food and Jobs, the two. And we worked on the report. It's supposed to be a public document. So I have the two. Even though government didn't plan it, it gives statistics on many products. I don't know whether pineapple was not pineapple. I think pineapple and mango was not there. But it gives you an idea of every region and what the government was looking into. Maybe if you think it's helpful, I can drop the document with you guys too, and then you can look through. But it shows you how government predicts what's the name? Their investment into planting, and then the potential output that they are looking for. So maybe it can help you to do your own type of graphs or tables in your work. Because their tables are very interesting. They are industry standard tables that the ministry uses. So maybe you can put the table to guide you. Because that's something that you may need to be able to understand how these things are done. Maybe later when I'll open it and we go through it together. And if you think it's needed, then I'll give it to you. Okay. Is that all? Okay. I don't see any hand up. Who is excited by this? Who is excited by this? Hey, nobody's excited. Please, if you're not excited, leave my class.
Yeah.
I want to teach you who are excited. You can go and join for the first class. I don't have a problem. And if you're excited, yes, then I can teach. If you're not excited, everything I ask you, you'll be angry with me. This man will hide you. Look at the plenty which is coming to you. I hear you. Me, this is my main. This is 50. It's 55 or 50 marks. I'm not doing anything anymore. The group that does very well will get, but every group that participates and do well, you get a fairly good mark. That will help you. And there will be a research. There are a number of exam questions coming from just here. Okay. Thank you very much. So let's take the next step of trying to get into the first understanding of the first framework, how to analyze the external environment. Then after that, we'll go into the other internal environment. Good. Because these are things that you learn whether you are under profile or me. But with this one, you are learning it with a specific focus. So that's the only difference. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so every firm strategy hinges on its ability to see what is in the environment and take advantage of it. If you're a football player, your ability to be able to see how the opponents are playing and then take advantage of the loopholes, and then so I can dribble through and go and score. The same thing is what firms do. So in our foundational chapter, what we try to do here is to try to give you the tools that help you to assess the environments of firm. And first environment, there are two main ones. There's a macro environment in which they operate in, and then in the internal environment or the micro one in which they also, which is within the firm. The macro environment and industry competition tend to influence the way firms work. So the first framework we are going to look at is a PESTEL framework. PESTEL is a popular tool. I think some of you may have heard about it when you were doing your undergrad programs. That PESTEL is just a tool that is an acronym that stands for political, and then you've got economic, then you've got the social, cultural, technological, environmental, legal framework. And all of it tries to tell you that a firm trying to operate will always be influenced by these 6 forces. And that can be, and some of them, your firm cannot control it. For example, when you talk about the political context, it includes the role of governments, political stability. Let me just narrow down a little bit so that, because some of you are using your phones to follow me, so let me just focus on what is needed at a time. Oh, sorry. Is it better? Those of you who are using your phones, is it better?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. So let's look at it. I think you can see better. I don't want you to strain your eyes. Okay, good. So political context looks at the role of governments, political stability, trade policies, taxes, and government funding priorities. And sometimes donor funding is kind of channeled through government. Some donors only work with the government. So when it does that, that means that it can also have a political connotation. So political stability is crucial. Good. Now I'll get the first person I'll kick out of my class. Okay. Political stability is crucial for a long-term investment. For example, a stable government allows a continued development of infrastructure, which companies like GH Fresh can rely on for logistics. But if you have got instability in an environment and there are shifts in funding, for example, we said GH Fresh is in Eastern region. If there's a priority road to be done and government says that no, it's not looking to that road anymore, it could actually affect GH Fresh because moving the produce from that place may be costly and may be challenging for them. Okay. So, and then sometimes shifting funding or regulatory policy like export tariffs can directly affect the profitability of the firm. So if the government prioritizes agricultural subsidies for cocoa over pineapples, then we should note that. So currently, the question that you ask yourself that, what are government's priorities in terms of pineapple? Are there any incentives being given to us? Are there any kind of subsidies being given to us? It poses a new challenge for Ghana Fresh primary export, but an opportunity for potential diversification to cocoa. So if Ghana Fresh thinks that the future is being threatened because it's doing pineapple, you can think of moving away from pineapple to start considering a subsidiary that will look into cocoa. By that means that you have to take the little savings you have made from pineapple and come and invest in cocoa, and that may not be sustainable. Maybe you may not even have access to cocoa farms. We are in an aging which cocoa farms are being willingly being given to what can I say an illegal miners, and then those cocoa farms are being destroyed. So it's very difficult for you to say that you can bank everything on cocoa. Then the economic context involves factors like the interest rates, inflation, exchange rates. Some of them may have come from government, but some of them to just the economic system setting the rates or the weakening of the cedi as compared to the dollar can be an issue. So for GH Fresh, a weak Ghanaian cedi is an opportunity for exports, making Ghanaians goods cheaper abroad, but a threat for imports in case they are trying to now buy the products and bring them, buy equipment and fertilizers, it may be more expensive for them. Good. And sometimes when there's also an economic downturn in the destination country, it could also reduce the demand for the premium fresh food that he's doing and pose a severe threat to their revenue and profitability because you export the thing that you can't sell. And that's just influence. And when you can't sell in that place, and yours is a perishable product, if you can't sell, it will actually go against you largely. Yeah. Then you are going to socio-cultural context. This covers societal values, cultural attitudes, demographics, population trends, and lifestyle changes. So sometimes there's this whole craze of ethical and organic eating, where people want to make sure that the product that they are eating, it went through an ethical farming practice. That means that they didn't use child labor in producing or in farming this pineapple. Number two, they have also followed what is required of the standards of Ghana or the standards of whoever their quality assurance team is, the percent that you are exporting to a particular country and they have got quality standards. So you have been able to meet those quality standards, which makes people happy and they want your product here. If Ghanaian consumers show a rising preference for locally packaged or non-sugary drinks, that means that your GH Fresh, which is now focused much more on fresh products, new like that. Look, the case study said that there's an untapped potential for local product mix in which they have got some juices and some dried nuts and they have not been able to leverage it very well. So anytime we have behavioral patterns leading towards made in Ghana, it could also help them, since if they are able to produce or get the products in a better packaged material, maybe Ghanaians may offer it. So maybe Ghanaians may offer it. So that is another thing that we can look into for our firm here. Then technological context. It includes advancements in R&D, even looking at how to bring certain AI technologies or IoT, that's Internet of Things technology, that can be able to put sensors in certain plants. We can measure moisture level, we can measure other patterns that could inform what we should do in terms of fertilizer or the amount of water we should expose to the product, so that our yield could be much more healthier than the other than it was before. And our yield could actually also be much more wholesome in terms of how much we lose due to bad farming practices. Technological investment can drastically change operational efficiency and supply chain management. For GH Fresh, the falling cost of IoT, soil moisture sensors, and drone monitoring presents an opportunity to gather real-time data for harvest optimization model. Remember, they were struggling to monitor their harvest. So if there's opportunity to use even drones to be able to study patterns in the growth of their plantations, their pineapple plantation, it may go a long way for them to reduce post-harvest losses. So, and the right now is the argument then is that if there's lack of reliable internet in that part of the eastern region, or mobile network coverage in that part of the eastern region, it means that there will be a threat to deployment of any real-time data collection systems. But on the other hand, we have seen the advent of this satellite-based internet, the ones from companies like Starlink, which I am connected to one right now. So you can imagine that Starlink has roaming capabilities, and they have got one which is more residential. So if your company is able to get it for its community, and like GH Fresh, it could actually help them bypass some of the challenges, and they can then deploy very cutting edge solutions that rely on the internet to be able to optimize their farming practices. It's possible. So PESTEL is showing that these forces can be a positive or a negative, depending on what is available, being seen as a threat, or what's not available, being seen as an opportunity. Okay. Any question on that one? Then you also got the environmental. Environmental has to do with the climate change, weather patterns, pollution, sustainability. Now everything about the world is sustainability. So even if you plant your products, they want to see whether you're using sustainable farming practices. This is critically important for agribusiness. Increased soil, a seasonal uncertainty or extreme weather events due to climate change can have a direct or severe threat to crop yields. Means that you may have anticipated that you are going to have out of your 2 acre, you can want to have maybe 1 ton of pineapple to be able to export. But because of the extreme weather events, and you realize that the rain is falling at the time it's not supposed to do so, and the time it's supposed to do so, it doesn't do. When there's a change in the weather patterns, it could actually also affect how much you are able to promise that you can deliver on the global market. So conversely, European Union mandates on sustainable sourcing, reduce carbon footprint, create opportunity for GH Fresh to achieve a premium price if they are prove their supply chain is efficient, has this level of efficiency. What is he saying? So if I mentioned that sustainability in farming is not needed, but for you to be able to get certain rebates or certain type of tax waivers, or even certain type of loans or opportunities, market opportunities, some of the countries, especially the EU, are now even investigating the firms that are exporting into their country to say that the claim that they have been putting on their sheets or their declaration forms that they have sustainable farming, but they have this, whether it is true. And they may do it without even knowing. So this has become an important part of, you can be farming in Ghana in one morning because you want to go and sell on Amazon. They tell you it's not possible because they have done some investigation. They may not even tell you. And they realize that most of the people who are coming from this region in Ghana do not have any sustainable farming practice in place. Okay, Nathan, your hand is up. Let me just talk about the legal, then we answer your question. The legal framework has to do with certain compliance issues. Sometimes in context of jurisdictions in which you have strong consumer protection, as soon as you go do something that's untoward, they can come together and sue you, or they can come together and fine you. And that's quite some way of that people are using legal instruments to keep companies on their toes. big companies like even Apple and Microsoft have actually been on the other side of the law concerning some of this in the EU. So they are quite. I know the companies are quite strict now. They are if you are exporting to EU, especially compliance with strict EU food safety regulations is one. How much pesticides you are exposing the products to. And I think the last time there was even an advert on a news article that was saying that specific things from Ghana were taken to a country and they did a test on them and realized that these fresh products were way beyond the acceptable limits in terms of the number of specific chemicals in them. And it happens. So in EU, food safety regulations tend to matter. Pesticides may have certain limits of application, but sometimes we don't care. We just keep on doing the thing as we want to do it. And these are non-negotiable threats if standards are not met. Labor laws will come after you. Labor laws on minimum wage directly affects operational costs. It can even erode all your benefits. So, and there is also new legal obligations about data privacy and patient consent. Sometimes we apply to firms like GH if they are taking personal data from local market customers in order to give them a superior service. You register some firms, register some individuals that, we know you like fruit juice. We want to supply the fruit juice to you, so we let you fill this form and make it available to you either through a particular depot or direct at your doorstep. That information you're collecting about them is their personal information. So are you GH Fresh, even though you are somebody who asked, even though you GH Fresh, you are what's the name? An agricultural firm. Have you thought about going to sign up with Data Protection Council or Commission? Have you going to sign up? Have you going to sign up? Are you adhering your process for review to check whether you are in concert with all the guidelines in the policy? Have you done that? It may become a question I'll come up because of where we are going to. So firms like agricultural firms are not left out. They have to take advantage and participate in adhering to some of these legal regulations concerning data management and data use. So, Nathan, let me hear your question. So, please, I just wanted you to appreciate that the PESTEL covers
Okay, Prof.
assessment of the firm from the external environment. Thank you. Please go ahead. Nathan, go ahead.
Okay, Prof. So earlier you mentioned child labor laws, and I was wondering how child labor laws work here in Ghana, because usually most local farms are family owned, and most of these farmers tend to have a lot of children, so they can employ free labor from them. So I'm trying to juxtapose that with child labor laws, because I mean I can buy like
Nathan, we are listening to you. We can't hear you anymore.
Oh, Prof, sorry, my internet connection. So, Prof, please, I was asking, how do child labor laws actually work here? Because usually most local farms are family owned, and these local farmers tend to have lots of children, so they can employ these children as free labor on their farms.
Okay.
So I can buy a heap load of yams, and the yams were cultivated and harvested by maybe 14 years, 12 going.
Okay, so
child labor.
Can I answer the question now? Nathan, can I go ahead? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, were you going to answer Nathan's question, or I should go ahead and answer Nathan's question?
So please go ahead and answer his question.
Okay. So Ghana's legal child laws are grounded in both the national legislation and then the international commitments that we have signed on to. And this question is a very good question because it has come up in other IT discussions that we have had even previously. So I can mention about 4 of them or 3 of them that I know of. I think if I don't know what someone has heard of Act 560. If you Google it, you see it. That's the Children's Act 1998 years. It defines a child as a person under 18 years old. And if you look at some of the things, they say that there's a part that, if I remember correctly, or so in the Act, it deals specifically with child labor, regulating employment, apprenticeship, and sometimes hazardous work. And hazardous work is prohibited for in the way the balance of it for persons under 18. And it also prohibits night work for children that are being employed between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Allows limited light work for children aged like 14 above, like 13, 14 above, so long that it doesn't harm their health or schooling. See, it is borderline. Then I know there is also the Labor Act. Please, those who work in the ministry, if I'm making a mistake, please correct me. Labor Act, Act 651, yeah. That's 2003, that's 2003. That also includes a special part dealing with the employment of young persons and prohibits the employment of young persons in hazardous work using the International Labor Authority, Labor Organizations, the ILO definition. The employers must have medical attention for young persons before employing them in industrial undertakings. Okay. Then it also requires employers to maintain something like a register for all the young persons in industrial undertakings, including their date of birth. Now, if you are between 18 and 21, you cannot work on any activity that involves exposure to physical or moral hazard. And so you cannot even do galamsey. You cannot go and do underground mining and work. So you see where the issues are coming from. Then there's I think another one is the Education Act. In fact, there are quite a number of them. That makes basic education is compulsory and free with provisions that discourage children from dropping out. So there's a complementary education unit of the Ministry of Education that acts with people, try to get people reschooled who are dropped out. The whole idea is to also reduce the occurrence of children finding themselves as free labor on farms. But the bottom line is that I am a farmer. I'm trying to train my child how to farm. It's like you even having a farm in your house, your backyard, and then you go there with your child. It's not, you're not forcing the labor, and so far as you're not denying the child from going to school, and you are working with the child, maybe when you on Saturdays and Sunday we go to the farm together to learn and all kind of stuff. Then I think you're okay, and then you're also not within outside the time, the one that the first one said. That's I think the Children's Act was saying that between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. Then there is also the trafficking, and those who do human trafficking. That's the worst form of child labor, forcing them into trafficking, into illegal sexual activities and all kinds of stuff. All these things are part of it. Okay. But a few years ago, UNICEF worked with a number of people to come together and form something called the Ghana Accelerated Action Plan against child labor or something like that. But it was supposed to end in 2027. They started somewhere around 2022, 2023. It's supposed to end in 2027. Now, the strategic plan was to coordinate efforts to respond to child labor. You see, the policies I give were plenty. So they realized actually the policies are plenty and people can go around the thing. So why don't we bring all these different units of ministries together and then government agencies together so that we have a concerted effort to reduce that one. And then the policies that I mentioned earlier do not actually attack the root cause of the issue. So, for example, poverty is pushing this thing to happen. When you catch somebody who is engaging in child labor, what do you even do to the person? Yeah, and then also be putting measures for social protection. Now recently or something like that, somebody was going to put there was a shrine in the Osuri, no, in the Nogwa place, in which some parents said they have betrothed their children who are young, even I think around 13 years old, to the stool or something like that, and that they should this priest at the place should marry the child, and people were very angry about it. That one, with the parents doing that. Number two, such practices going on. Number three, the child's education is cut off, so the child doesn't have choice. You are being betrothed to the shrine, and you have to go and live with the shrine, and you are a fifth wife or an eighth wife or something. So this is very, very difficult to put in measures of social protection. And the funny thing is that when people are fighting against it, we had traditional authorities rather fighting for the thing to continue, which we didn't. It's very, very disheartening. And even look, that priest can have his own choice and say that for the sake of where we have reached to in the world now, maybe you collect some money from the family and say that the child should go free and make a choice. But you don't do it. Or you give him. I don't even know the power of the government enough to be able to stop that one. I don't even know about that one. Okay. So it's a difficult issue to say. In general, what I know is that under 13 years old, no employment except very limited light work. And then 13 to 15, light work only. It's not affecting the schooling. 15 years older, I think that's the one I told about, non-hazardous employment followed. Okay, and then like exploitative work, and then allowed under 18 years, no hazardous work. Hazardous work is prohibited, and hazardous work may include work that may jeopardize the person's health, safety, and morals. So even you see the funny thing is that working for the shrine club is against it's hazardous, it's your morals. It's hazardous working in this definition anyway. I'm not a lawyer. Then 8 nights work. Parents who carry their children to go and sell Indomie with them. All this is wrong. No child shall be employed during that period. This is have been come up. Yeah. But our enforcement is weak. A policeman probably is buying from Chibon from the person. You know that the person is doing the wrong thing, but you're buying Chibon from the person. Anyway, please, I hope I've given some advice in general.
People.
Okay.
Yes, Doc.
Okay. Your hand is up. Let's go and then move on our.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I wanted to know the difference between the political context and then the legal context. Because sometimes, for example, tax policies and regulations, it is quite confusing as to where to place it.
You have a good point. The legal comes in when we break it. The politician will establish the policy. The legal comes in when we break it. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, and the legal tool sometimes may put in measures to be able to give you some kind of way to wiggle through. So, for example, they say compliance with strict EU food regulations, like pesticide limits, is a non-negotiable threat. This is established. The food regulation is a legal context. But the political angle can be that because we don't like US or we don't like Ghana, the president will sign it into action and enforcement, and even give a dedicated team to enforce it. So let me give you another example. Recently, the war between this afternoon we're discussing the war between the US and China on AI. You see, technology is becoming a commodity and a strategic asset at the same time. Commodity because some level of technology is becoming something that anybody can just replicate or buy and then use just like that. So the US says that NVIDIA, you cannot sell this level of AI chips to any Chinese firm or to China as a government. China then returned back and said that the old ones that we have bought already, we will use that one to do work. And they use that one, they have built one, two, they have built other platforms which are using less energy, less technological resources as compared to the one that OpenAI, the American companies, are doing. So he doesn't have the latest technology, but he has done something as wild and as good and as efficient as what you have done. And you are being given all this wild technology, and you have not done too much superior than him. In fact, when it comes to video processing and their video platforms, they even have one that most of the other platforms don't have. especially for video. So where is the competition coming in? You say it is a strategic. I won't give you. So Trump signed that they shouldn't sell, and I don't know whether Biden also had signed it earlier. They can't sell to them, but they know the people are building one. And then we also looked at the fact that we also pointed something out. I don't know whether you saw this video. BYD makes up its mind that it's opening a factory in Brazil. The legal issues in the government and trying to local authority trying to frustrate them. They don't let them get the factory that early. They get the land and everything, but they are not able to set up early. The factory is not ready. But the company has told them that it's ready already. They built a ship. The ship is carrying 7,900, and some of the cars are being built on the ship. Once the ship is moving on, the factory is working. So they built a ship, it's producing. They got to the port. The over 7,000 cars drove themselves out of the ship and came to park at the port. Every hour, 100 was coming out. Every hour, 100 was coming out. Not driven by anybody, in a synchronized manner, and came to park themselves. Now, then they reflect that we are now king of not only just the land, we are now king of the sea. We can, the factory is not ready, but the cars are ready to be sold in the country. They are disorganized, and as they enter the country legally and stuff, they have disorganized and destroying your local market. I think Brazil also has a local vehicle market, which some of the things they produce themselves, and even they produce, some of the big companies also produce there. Destroy the market. So the frustrations you are doing, they build on CO. They build some and they carry the rest and build on C. By the time they land at your place, the things 7,900 something have been built. I will just laugh and say, hey, the people and this just BYD. You're not talking about Dongfeng has not come. There are other companies which are even wild. And all because Dongfeng does quite some things for the military in China and stuff. So please, while we are competing at stuff, government policy is legalizing certain levels of competition and certain competitive strategies. So and that's why you see Trump coming up with the tariffs and somehow we insulted him a lot, but somehow the tariffs have worked out in some way or some they are come back to thank him, and then some of the companies are happier because now it's looking like you have used policy to minimize the effect of their the influence of their own competitors. Even TikTok, they have been able to control and mute it a little bit and get even their own version or get an investment arm into it. Very interesting dynamics. The same now, if you look at it, OpenAI then goes to Saudi Arabia, signs a mega deal to build more money, to get more money to build one of the largest data centers across the world, I think somewhere in the desert, and do other things across other parts of the world. Just because that money, Trump and Saudi Arabia are talking very well. Oil money is now serving them. Very interesting dynamic. So now government is now parading their own American companies as an arm to be able to show their dominance. And I'm wondering when we will stand by our companies in Ghana to be able to use them to also become a strong arm for our own. No, we are fighting MPP and DC, and the companies are dying. Sad. Let's continue. Maybe GH Fresh will be the fresh company. Anyway, I'm talking too much. William Martin, let me answer your question. Let me answer your question. Let's continue. I'm not a politician. No. I'm just trying to analyze the situation.
So it's not a question per se, it was a contribution. I wanted to know whether it falls under the legal context. So I quite remember some years back, I think 2 years ago, there was a regulation that was passed by the EU that stated that cocoa entry into EU should not be linked to deforestation and should also be traceable. I don't know if anyone heard of that.
So you are talking about two things here. Looking at number one, socio-cultural choices being made here. And number two, looking at the legal. Do you understand me? Somebody can even say environmental, sustainability issues. So I look about the S, the E, and then the L. They're all related, interrelated to the decisions. The L is the one that is enforcing it. That's it.
Okay. Thank you.
Well done. That's something I just want you to, when I teach you this manual concept, you should be able to see things around you and apply it to them. Okay. William, I'll answer the question. Ladies, I see your mic is unmuted. If you have anything to say, not. Let me meet you. The next one is looking at industry profitability. So we look at the external environment and look at the industry. So every industry and its structure tend to dictate the way profit can be achieved. So there's a gentleman called Michael Porter who studied industries and then came up with the Michael Porter's 5 forces model in a way to help organizations analyze the competitive intensity and attractiveness within their industry, so that when they understand the different strengths of the 5 forces, it can help them to be able to take certain initiatives that will make them stronger. So where collective forces are weak and where more are more likely to experience higher profitability. The first force he talks about, all of these forces, these things are diagrams. You can Google them, you can get them. But I am teaching them in a more application sense. So we are taking them as a tool to use, not more of an academic on trying to draw and do the best drawing. More of how will I apply it to my work. Now, rivalry among existing competitors. This measures the intensity of competition among existing firms and industry. Rivalry is high when competitors are numerous and products are undifferentiated. All the products look the same. Industry growth is then slow and exit barriers are high. Because everything is the products are almost the same, it's very difficult for one person to stand out and say he's the best. So after sometimes some companies are not able to survive, they leave. Because at the end of the day, the rivalry is high, everybody is copying everybody. And then the products are not differentiated. You see that the same product is what is it's like the chocolate drink competition. After this week chocolate drink, now you have got the Cadbury having their own. You have got Nestle having different versions. You have got even other Carbell also having about 7 or 8 different versions of you have got strawberry, you have got choco mama, and all kinds of stuff. Then you have got a new one that just came last year or last 2 years. I've forgotten the name. They were doing adverts all over the place. Guys, do you drink these sachet teas? I've forgotten the name. Oh. Hey, my people here, you don't drink sachet tea and you don't drink teas in the
But is it mixed choco?
Mix it. They're all over the place. Yeah, mix. So Mixi too came up and stuff. So if you don't take care, some of the companies will after some time, if they don't find a competitive edge or over the other, or find a focus that somebody cannot replicate and compete with them in that particular category, subcategory, they will end up, some of them will have to pull out of the market respectfully because it may not be sustainable. Unless I made up their mind, don't sell premium one, they go and sell in the villages and the towns so they can still make money. Actually, a farmer wants to drink some small tea. So what is threatening, what all these are threatening Milo rather, the position of Milo, even though Milo has a traditional position in consumer minds, because people started thinking about how to do it in small sachets and make it portable and on the go. You are a security man, you just pour a little bit in your hot water bottle, you get flask, you got it. The old one, you have to open a whole tin of Milo first sometime and tie it some way, but became a challenge. Packaging itself actually competed them out of the race, and now they have to now adapt to what is happening. Okay, so for Ghana Fresh export market, the export market for Ghana's fresh export market, rivalry is moderate, focus on quality and volume. For the local cheese market, rivalry is often high due to the small competitors and the slow product differentiation. It's actually true. Quite a number of the things challenge we see is that when you talk about Sobolo and all those other ones, you see that the very good ones are very, very few. And there are few of them just competing among themselves. And almost all of them are just doing the same Sobolo stuff. The only difference that you see that others are too much sugary. Others are not combined Sobolo with Sobolo is hibiscus that they plant, that they use it to do a drink. Now others are mixing it with beetroot. Others are also mixing it with passion fruit, so they can get some different type of taste. I know I'm here to see a strawberry one. Do we mix it with hibiscus and strawberry? It's very, very interesting. But they tend to mix it together to just be able to bring a little bit of a differentiation. But sometimes the differentiation, the new product they do, it doesn't taste well. And people, after tasting it, don't go back for it. So there's little the rivalry is often high because they are very small competitors and there's no difference. We are all selling almost the same thing. And because of that, we are competing with each other. Everybody wants to make the next sale. So data perspective, analytics can help us track the competitor prices, promotion activities, and then help us to be able to give data-driven competitive insights to the company that is seeking to compete in this sector, because the differentiation is very low. So if you're able to track the data very well and even track how much they sell their products and have the patronage within the community, you'll be able to even ascertain whether you should do more investment in your product or not. Then threat of new entrants. This assesses how easily new firms can enter into the industry. Some companies, some institutions are in sectors that government has put certain barriers to reduce the number of people can enter there. So sometimes they may even use capital requirements that before you can start this business, you need this amount of investment. And that government can use that to restrain or control the number of people can operate in that space. Okay. So it's a high threat of new entrants lowers industry profitability because new firms bring fresh capacity and drive down prices. It has happened in so many ways. Those of you can remember the global era when people were buying a lot online and they were using motorbikes and stuff. And you realize that now global has gone down because of the unpredictability of the CD. They couldn't handle it, they have gone out. But when they were there, they were actually forcing many of the companies to bring their prices lower in terms of their delivery of delivery services that were offering to Ghanaians. Now, for Ghana Fresh, large-scale pineapple farming is a high cost and high investment activity. So it means that it has high entry barriers. Not everybody can even do that. First of all, you have to even get a land at a prime place and then do the processing of whatever you are processing of the products that you have there. Now, setting up a processing plant and even getting the land is not a cheap endeavor. So but when you look at the small scale dried fruit market, it has low barriers. A lot of people can easily come there and they can even improve the packaging and eliminate all the competitors. Then you have got bargaining power of buyers. This measures the extent to which customers can force down prices or demand higher quality service. Buyer power is high when buyers can purchase a large volume, switching costs are low, or the product is standardized. Okay. So when you have in an era in which consumers are more and the products are few, then consumers can then force down the prices and demand higher quality service. So they tell you because you want to sell your product to your consumers, and the consumers or even they tend to have higher power because maybe sometimes, especially when you realize that you have done a product in which satisfies only 7 consumers. These consumers can actually control you. Now, because when you compare that one to having about 30 people coming for your 7 products, the challenge with the other one is that if this guy doesn't like it, this person can. So you can increase, the company, being the supplier, you can increase your bargaining power. But when the consumers are few and you have a specialized product, and you don't get it to them to buy, you are in trouble. So you now have to convince the companies to make a choice for you. And how do you do that? That's a challenge for you as a company. You've got the bargaining power of your customers are higher. GH Fresh sells large volumes of export pineapples to a few European grocery chains, like I mentioned, very few of them. This gives the higher buyers high bargaining power, so that they can say, we will choose to pay this, and then you can't do much about it. Force the company to maintain strict quality standards, grade A at negotiated prices. So if you bring it and they fall out, you are falling short of the quality standard, they can choose to say they won't pay you this time. And somehow you have to find a way of shipping the thing back or disposing them. Analytics can track buyer volume concentration using this Heffendal-Hishman Index, HHI. I think you studied this one in one of your analytics courses, and measure the buyer's price elasticity of demand. Okay. Then you can also, you are using analytical framing or analytical tools to be able to do so. Then you also can have, I mentioned earlier, your bargaining power being higher. When your bargaining power is higher, what of the supply is higher, it means that the ability of the resource provider, that's the supplier, to raise prices and reduce the quality of goods and services they supply. This happens in Abosoka a lot. You are looking for a part of a product, and you check that there are only 3 people in Abosoka who have it. And somehow, when you go and ask the person, the other person gets to know that somebody is asking for a product. So you call the person that, oh, please, do you have this? So, oh, Highlander, oh, okay, yeah. So then they'll tell you, okay, this one, and you give you a price. Then you go and call the other person, the person, oh, you are the one looking for the Highlander, this thing. It means that somebody has told him already. So the situation you have is that they have all now gotten to know that you are in need of this Highlander part, you need it today. If you're not very careful, you pay quite an outrageous figure for it, because at the end of the day, they'll be able to get you at a point that whatever they call amount they call, you'll be forced to pay for it, so you can be able to get the part that you're looking for. Because the cost of getting that same part through Dubai or through the Amazon US may be very costly and may cost you more now, and you don't have the time. So what do? You have to just go with them. So the power of specialized logistics partners who own the refrigerated shipping containers and know the routes is moderate to high because of the switching costs are significant. Remember, I said logistic costs are unpredictable. You mentioned that earlier. And one of the things is that if it's unpredictable and the people who can also help you ship the things are very few, that means that by the time you are ready, they may not be ready. And they are the ones who also know the routes to be able to ship your products, move your products from whichever region to the place that you can be able to sell it. So in that case, the supplier who is providing the service has a higher bargaining power and can charge more, and you can't do much about it. Threat of substitutes for products and services. Sometimes the product you have, somebody has developed a sister product or a comparable product that can eliminate your relevance or your impact or influence in the market. A high threat of substitutes limits the price a firm can charge, because people think they have an alternative to go to, even if the alternative is not the authentic one. For Ghana Fresh's pineapple export, the substitute is canned pineapple, cheaper and longer shelf life, which may come from China, or other fresh fruits like mangoes or grapes. If the price of Ghana fresh pineapples rises too high, buyers will easily switch. Yes. If yours is too high now, you won't buy anymore. So I Ghana, then go to another place. And it happens. I remember we were evaluating such a thing for an activity. And then we realized that when you buy from the Ghana one, it's a little bit expensive. But when you choose to buy the one from India, it's cheaper. Even including the travel time, it's still cheaper. So people were not thinking, okay, now I'd rather get the India. But the India one, you don't know whether it's as quality as the one that you are getting either through Ghana. So please, analytics monitors the cross price elasticity, how the price of one product affects the demand for the substitute, and tracks the performance of the alternative product. It's just like being on a crypto market trading platform. As one product is going up, another product is going down. So you can look at it and say that if this product, there's a higher demand for it, and now there's lower demand for it, but then there's a rise in the demand for the substitute, that means the substitute is doing something to you. You see, he has been able to get the heart of the people they are moving towards. Porter's 5 forces model determines the long-term profitability and attractiveness of an industry. Firms should design strategies that weaken these forces. That's if you increase your differentiation to reduce your rivalry and buyer power, people will rather stick to you. Okay. Any question on this one? If not, then let's move on to strategic group mapping. And after that, we can. SAR 8743. Okay. Good. I may jump one of them. I want to talk about the analytic strategies canvas, but let's see. Not all competitors within an industry compete the same way. The strategic group mapping is a technique that identifies clusters of firms that pursue similar strategies. So let's see. If you look at it very carefully, you can have firms that are the closest rivals. Firms within the same strategic group are typically a firm's closest rival. So who is your closest rival? That's the first question you should ask. For a small savings bank, it does not compete with large multinational banks and multinational banks. They are now in different groups. Its closest rivals are other small local banks and mobile money services. This because they can provide a service you are given. So this allows Ghana Fresh to focus its competitive analysis and their connection on only direct trade. So when you identify your closest rivals, you have to look at those who have got direct trades to you. That's the first thing. Then highlighting alternative paths to success. Number two, this strategic group. So we are looking at 4 different groups of companies that you may come across. The first one are the ones who are closest rivals, which you want to treat them in a particular way. First of all, you want to be able to make sure that you are identifying their strengths and what they have that you don't have. But in selecting such firms, you are focusing on those who have got direct threat to you. They are highlighting alternative paths of success. Strategic groups reveal different ways firms can succeed. For example, in the restaurant industry, one group succeeds through low cost, and another one on high bread, fast casual. Like sometimes they kind of packaging that they kind of a bouquet of food that they may make available to you. They may make it kind of a fast food environment that you can easily get products in a very quick manner. But others can also bring high quality and low breath, meaning that what is that you don't need to sit down and the first one you don't need to sit, but this one you need to sit in and eat to give you some kind of a difference. So if you look at it, one company that is doing that is Starbite. Starbite has the Starbite Go Center, which is the fast casual places, low cost, high breath, fast casual places. And then they have other places like the one in Osu, the one in Westland, which are high quality, low bread. They allow you to have fine dining. And even if you eat in dine-in, they give you certain kind of incentives in terms of buy one, get one free, or buy this food and get a second one. Good. This allows Ghana Fresh alternatives. So you should either you focus on low cost, high volume, grade B products for exports, or high quality, low volume organic products, which are high grade A for a different group. The question is that you have to know how you group your products and know the competitors for them and then push them out there. And as I mentioned, Starbite is doing that quite very well. I was in one of their shops and I asked for a particular food. I was in the Starbite to go. And they told me that they have been warned that they can't serve this food in the Starbite to go place because it's only for the ones that you have to dine in, which are their mega or the Starbite. I've forgotten the name they give to those ones, but they are the ones which has a dine-in facility that you can sit down with family and come and do parties there and all kind of stuff. And they invest that they say all this type of menu is only available there. So the menus in the go are limited. You cannot even get certain things there, so that they can constrain you as a cook there, that you cook within these limits when you are working in Starbite Go. Okay. Yes, I see a number of hands up. I see Comos Mokili. Okay. Please.
Yes, I just don't understand the high breath, low cost high breath. I'm not familiar with the phrase. If you can explain it a bit.
You're not familiar with, but which phrase? High breath.
The high breath, low breath. What does it mean in relation to this?
Okay. So who understands and wants to share a mind to him? I want to look at the class. Who understands and can explain it to him? Yes, Gloria. Because some of them is sector based.
Okay, thank you. Okay, this is how I understand it. So the low cost hybrid means for the hybrid, it means higher volumes. So a lot more goes. If it's an industry that sells, like Starbite example that you were using, or let's say Pizza Inn, it means that they put low cost items at places where volumes go faster, or a lot more people will visit to buy those low cost items as compared to the other one, which is the high cost, low bread. Low bread will mean that very few people would go there.
Like luxury products.
Pardon?
like luxury products or niche.
Yes, something like that. So you would want to, for instance, put a high breath, high cost, low breath. Okay, high
Good,
cost, low breath
you're right.
item somewhere in
At the
Legon.
airport. Uh-huh.
Yes, or at the airport or at East Legon. Then you put the other one, which is the low cost, high breath, at an area where you know a lot more people would visit and buy, but they can afford to buy because it's low cost.
Good. So she has actually done a good job. I don't know, what sector do you work in?
Prof, please, I'm at UG, Department of Mathematics.
This one, the audio mathematics language. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm just trying to help him here. So low cost, offering an inexpensive product, or something that is inexpensive to produce is very standardized. So if you go to Starbucks like this, foods that are low cost like egg roll, shibum, something they call chibum, it's egg sandwich, this kind of burgers and stuff, very low cost to do. And then quite a number of people come in and buy. So you like jollof and chicken, jollof and egg, those kind of stuff. But if you want to dine in foods like fisherman sauce, they're one of their specialties that they do with rice or with yam or anything. That one you have to eat in the high end shops because you'll not serve it there. Even they are low cost, they are start by to go, they have got limited seats. It's for standing up. In fact, there's no seats. It's just like a bar seat where you stand there and wait for your food. So you are not supposed to even dine in. It's food that you can carry to go very, very fast. And there's even a time of how much you should. So you get a lot of snacks there. And how much minutes you should spend on cooking the food. It's all part of the offer. So it means that they are serving a lot of covering a wide range of food needs or needs of our customers, but not necessarily focus on a narrow niche, but using low cost food. Whilst when you go to the high cost low bread, that is much more for luxury niche strategies. So if you want to eat, for example, there's a restaurant at East Legon that serves what's the name? Pasta with shrimps and stuff, and they make it the Italian style. You don't see it all over the place. It's a niche. One place around 300 Ghana cedis. And every time I go there, I see a lot of expatriates sitting there. And I could understand it's a niche, and it's a niche type of strategy. So high cost, low bread means that at the end of the day, you're not going to have a high volume. So you make up the high volume with you make up with the volume with the high cost, but you still get a type of client. So only time you get there, it's very, very difficult for you to see boys just come and sit there and eat. Like how you see them eating maybe in a local pub. They know you see a lot of expatriates, and from the language they are speaking, or a lot of Italian and then also Lebanese people coming to eat there. So low cost, low bread means that at the end of the day, too, you can also have something which is low price, but it's for a niche type of people. It's low price. It's also for a niche type of people. People do that one too. And let me see which one will work like that. Okay. There's a place that I buy wachi at, and then the competitor came to set up a shop by the person. What the competitor is serving wachi, and it's also serving tozafi. And anytime I go there, I see people buying tozafi because I realized that a lot of us were buying the wachi because there was not the other opportunity for those people who are there to eat tozafi. But right now there's tozafi available. I'm seeing that some of the watches eaters have now transferred themselves to tozafi, and they're eating tozafi in the morning. So I see a low price and then a niche offering being given to them. Good. Because the price is also affordable, just like the watch is affordable. Then there's high cost, high breadth. There are products that are highly, like Apple does. Apple is high cost, high breadth. They have got the numbers flowing them, and they have got the product to be very high. So you understand me? High cost and hybrid. Okay. So please, have I covered all of these for you? The guy was asking. But what does it mean? It means that you, the person, when you are looking at your data, you have to understand what your data is telling you. For example, GH Fresh. If you are using strategic groupings to be able to look at them, then you have to ask yourself that this GH Fresh product that is going to the US, or these dried nuts that they say they have got an untapped local market. So they have got fresh juice and then local juice, and they have got dried fruits. So if you take the dried fruits market, there's a premium type of dried fruit that Ghanaians like, or maybe foreigners like. Can you be able to invest in a high-end dried fruit market for a low-bread customer base? That's the question you're asking yourself. Or you rather invest in a low-cost fruit juice, which has a high breadth. That means that has more potential to sell. So it means that you do. I saw that one in the schools. The school that my daughter attends, I realized that somebody has done that one. She came up with small bottles. The small bottles, they have got all passion. They've got they've got pineapple and passion, pineapple alone, pineapple and orange, pineapple and ginger, and then there's another one, a set of other ones too. And we were able to keep it the optimum temperature. They bring you the fridge. I don't know whether you have seen that company for. So one day you can become a reseller. They bring the fridge. They put a deep freezer, kind of a standing difference, cute one, in the premises of the school, and you stock it with only their products. So when the children come to school in the morning, they remove it and put it on the table for it to thaw a little bit. So their products are always fresh, and they come and refill the fridge for you every 5 days or every 4 days. And I asked the person, the school, the person selling for the school, said, it's part of the model. This is the first time they have seen a company that they bring the fridge to you and then they supply the products to fill the fridge. When they don't have anything, when there's vacation and everything, they come and carry their fridge away. Very, very interesting model that they are doing. And this is a chest freezer. That's what the ladies call it, a chest freezer. And it's only their products that go into it. So, but they are competing a low cost hybrid product. Low cost hybrid product. The students like it a lot, and it's low cost. But then and they have added their fridge to make sure that they maintain the quality level, because they don't want you to give your children anything that has expired too. So they come and take after some days when they come and take all the old ones and they refill new ones. Anyway,
Of course.
Caroline, I saw your hand was up. You was right. Oh, William, go ahead.
Okay, so Prof, please, something came to my mind. I'm wondering, for companies that fall under one mother company like Nestle Ghana, having Carnation Milk and Ideal Milk, I'm wondering how they go about their strategy. Do they see themselves as separate entities, or they see themselves under one group? I'm just wondering if you could help me out.
You are making us jump into what we don't want to do right now. But there are companies that see themselves house of brands, and then so they can have different brands under one house, and they manage and then promote each of the brand on its own so that it can be successful. I hope you understand me. And the brands can even make it without even mentioning the mother company. I hope you understand me.
Yes, please.
Good. So when you're a company that is using a house of brands concept, your idea is that you've got several brands under one company name. So Nestle may have Ideal Milk, they have Milo, they have all those other ones, and they don't compete each other. They actually complement each other. Good. And they can also be able to compete on each of the products differently, and even have different targets for each of the products.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Hello, Prof. Caroline.
Yeah, Caroline, yeah.
Yes, please. So, with regards to the explanation you gave, that's with the low cost hybrid and all that, it's per my understanding, it takes more like the target group takes the standard of living of the people into consideration.
Yeah. Of course, it depends on how you are looking at it in your own way, because technically we are discussing it in the essence that if you are doing a low cost hybrid product. That means that you have got high volume for the product you purchase, but the product is low cost. So even the car companies, they do the same thing. If you think about, look at it very carefully. You see, you may not understand. Even let me even use Samsung. Samsung have so many differentiated price points for their phones, because some of them they want to give you high a high cost and then a low breadth, like the S24, the high S series, the one that they launch every year, the one that they have got a fold and also that sells around 25,000. And if you think about it, but the same Samsung has a phone that is around 1,000 cities and 1,200, and sometimes even 800 cities. Why? Because they are all for different target markets. The very high end one that their premium one is always targeted at high premium, sorry, high cost for low breadth type of target market. Whilst they have got low cost for high breadth, which are the ones which are usually below 2,000 Ghana. Today I saw an advert for ITEL Flip. I don't know whether it's true, whether it's coming. And the phone looked like an old phone, which somebody was either a parody or something like that. And you're actually, this is, you see, ITEL itself in the brands of the Transsion Group is a lower brand. So when the lower brand decides to do a flip phone, in which the higher brand like Techno has done, and then Techno is the Transsion Group, and then you also have Infinix. So you have I think you have Techno, Infinix, and then ITEL. I think the other ones too there. So if you look at it, if ITEL gets up and says he's doing a flip phone, then the things in the flip phone will be very it can never be as high as quality as the one in Techno. Because if they do that, then they will compete with the Techno brand. So they are trying to do a budget flip phone that is for a particular market. The same way when Samsung releases new flip phones, do you realize that there's one which is 12,000 Ghana, which is called the Fun Edition? The Fun Edition is just putting in the basic, the functionality of a flip phone and making it cheap. But that's but just that the materials around it is a little bit short changed as compared to the next one, which is the actual flip phone that they sell, and which is a little bit higher in terms of cost. But they are trying to do that. If you remember Masu Meshebi from one of the fashion houses in Ghana, the cloth industry. So they are trying to make sure there's differentiated pricing, that the cloth can be made available for other people to be able to buy and they'll be able to use. The same way as what you are seeing with this one. Okay. So thank you very much. Let's see whether anybody has any other question anymore, or we should go ahead. Please just give me. Okay, please let's continue. Okay. Any more questions? I see there's a lot of chat room engagements. Please, 12 and Ubers. Okay. Go back in moving pick itself with fish and chicken, plantain and potatoes. Sometimes sauce on demand. Davi is just gobe and plantain. Luckily, with fresh pepper. But Davi's own may be nicer than gobe and moving pick. Hannah. And the KFC drive-through at versus a drive-through versus in Sunam. I don't know what is Sunam. It's for the poor a rich area of sales. Okay, Trista. Okay, Trista. Thank you very much. That's very good. And Hannah, good evening. You know you're here. Okay. So then let's go to the internal alignment. Then we can wrap it up. The next one is the internal alignment. You want to first of all look at the value chain analysis from Michael Porter again. And Michael Porter then talks about the fact that in every firm, to be able to create a competitive value for the customer at the end of the value chain, you need to be able to understand your primary activities and your support activities. So that when you are actually creating value, you see where your cost center is and do something about it. So the primary activity is where you, the company, is directly involved in using to create and deliver your product. Your support activities are those which are so essential to your primary activities. Now, so they talks about different, we're going to look at all the activities and then take them one by one. Okay. But there are diagrams for these things, and if you Google them, you see the diagrams very easily. But that gives you a visual view of it. The value chain analyzes internal processes. There's a primary activity such as operations and support activities such as technology to identify where data is generated and where analytics can yield the highest competitive advantage. So whatever we are looking at it, in terms of when I start listening activity, ask yourself, is this a critical data generation point? What processes can create valuable data in this one? What can we put in? How can we use IT to create valuable data? For example, if it is about planting, I can use IoT soil centers during the planting. I can also do post-harvest quality checks. I can also put trackers on vehicles that are on my harvest containers, so that I know that the tracker is on it. It can calculate the weight of maybe maize I put into that container. So just in case the weight changes, that's another problem that we don't realize. When you are doing things like share, it's about weight. When you are selling, when you finish picking the shares and you take it to the depot, they weigh it and then they pay you based on the weight. So if you are somebody who the container looks very big and he picks it, but between the time he transports it to the depot, he balances himself with half of it and puts on, the weight will be different. So I would rather like to have a tracker or a weight machine that can send me information to let me know that as the guy has picked this particular, the weight of the thing is dead. So I'm expecting 300 Ghana cedis. If it brings it to the depot, and the weight is now commensurate of a financial value of 180 Ghana cedis, my 120 has passed somewhere. Because between that travel, he would have balanced himself. He pays 120 for $3, he has got 360. And you are left with 180, which is far less than what you bargained for. Are there areas for strategic differentiation, forcing analytics on activities that can provide an advantage? For example, using AI for precise yield forecasting, and cost drivers, targeting high cost activities for efficiency analytics, optimizing the logistics routes so that you can minimize the flow consumption. If I pass here, what will happen? If I pass I remember today I was with a car company, and they were explaining something to me that if you put the wrong tie in your car, you can burn more fuel. And I asked him that, what do I mean by that? He said that sometimes when people are buying car, they want a threaded tie, and they go and give them. For example, you are driving, maybe let's say you're driving this Toyota car was RAV4, and then because you want a good tie, the person sells you the ties for hard body, Nissan hard body. Those ones which are used for the hard road and rough, those kind of rugged areas. So you see, the thread in the ties are very deep. The marks in the ties are very deep. So it takes a longer time to wear out. But the ties are heavy. If you put that one on a RAV4, if you're at the back or something, you're actually putting more weight on the car. And it makes the car have to pull more. I said, I never thought that. I asked her, but I thought that the tires can also know. There's a reason why those tires are put in those Tacoma and all those type of cars. If you just go and put it around for maybe your beautiful Highlander 2021 edition stuff, you are putting more stress on the engine because that's not the tire that's supposed to be there on it. And you burn more fuel with time it will also affect the way your brakes work. I said, wow. And I was like, yes, it's explaining to me. And the guy seems to be a professor of car ties. And you're showing me, and they actually put, and you're showing me the weight. So you carry one tie and show it to me. I say, look at it, and then look at this one. But meanwhile, you can't realize that when they go to Aboso Kandi and selling ties to them, they check it. Oh, when I trade, there's a strand, a lot of. Then they'll give them the ties that are for this kind of heavy duty cars. And they expect them that they should be putting them on their normal cars that are used. They're not even doing, and it's true, it may not wear out that fast, but you're actually putting more stress on the car. So really, let me explain to me. So you can sometimes our minimizing for construction can even be the selection of the car tire. Whether you have the right car tire on it, and lack of knowledge, you may end up doing what is wrong. For Ghana Fresh, activities related to physical production and movement, operational logistics are the key drivers of competitive advantage. The primary focus is on operations such as planting and harvesting. That's for us. Our primary activities, operations, and then outbound logistics like shipping. When we make sure that we use data to improve these activities, we are actually addressing some of the external trends of rising costs and quality demand. So let's look at it carefully. So the first one, primary, inbound logistics. Okay, maybe before I show this one, let me just show you the diagram. Let me just show you a diagram of Porter's, how Porter come, using 5 forces model. Sorry, value chain analysis. I said 5 forces. Porter's value chain analysis. Okay, good. Good. I have it changed. Right. Okay, so quickly look at it and then have an understanding of where good. So look at the diagram here. And then let me open my PDF code. Then we can use them, we can look at it together. Just give me a second. I'm going to share this with you. Okay. Good. Okay, so let's look at it. So Porter says that we should look at it in this way. Sorry. Michael Porter says that our support activities are procurement, technology development, human resource management, and infrastructure. But our primary activities are the inbound logistics, the operations, the outbound logistics, the marketing, sales, and servicing. Now, if you're able to gain value, we pass on the margin of the value to the consumer. That's what you see there. What you see. So we use technology to optimize our process. So we can use data to optimize our processes so that can pass on the value gain onto the consumer. The first one is primary inbound logistics. What do we do? As Ghana Fresh, receiving and storing and distributing farming inputs such as fertilizers, water, seedlings to the fields. So what do? We use inventory tracking, vendor quality scores, real-time soil moisture data to minimize water wastage. So also, especially what we are planting to. Number 2, operations. Transforming inputs into final products, such as planting, crop maintenance, selective harvesting, and then packaging. What will we do? Yield prediction models. We discussed that in chapter 7. Drone-based crop health monitoring. Labor efficiency metrics. Post-harvest quality sorting data. So I will capture data that can help me to optimize my operations. But what type of data am I looking for? I have to, so when you look at this one, I need a drone to be able to monitor the crop and their health. I'll look at my labor. How many farmers are working on this particular one? Can I replace some of the farmers by using my IoT or any of my AI technologies? Post-harvest quality sorting data. Now, remember, me, I was even looking at post-harvest yield. You have taken I mentioned that for example, I went on share in the northern region. You go and pick the share. The shell, sometimes you are picking it with your hands, you can be bitten by snakes and by scorpions and things. So we have got some kind of a device that they sell. It's like you hold it and you press it and put it into the basket. And usually the grandmothers and the girls are the ones who do it. So they pick it and the boys carry the abobo yaka and go and carry it. But you know how boys we are. Before we get to the depot where the aggregator is, or where the what's the name, the collection point for the cooperative, you balance yourself. This basket is pour small, this is small, and then get one basket for yourself and stuff. So from working from this environment, I realized that the best thing for me is that I'll put a sensor on the basket so that even after you know the abobo, I have an idea of the weight of the product I'm selling, so that I can calculate my earnings. Otherwise, people can carry a full basket thinking that you're going to get 700 Ghana cedis, only for them to go there. They say that, oh, the weight of it has come down and you have lost 200 cedis off it. Where's the 200 cedi pass? It's going to the house. It's going to the pocket of the guy who drove the abuya to the place. And the outbound logistics, collecting and storing and physically distributing the packaged product to the customer via refrigerated shipping. This one is needed because we are doing fresh products, and some of them are fruits too. We need refrigerated shipping. A cold chain sensor data for quality assurance, so that when a cold chain sensor data, some of them, when I did some work with Milk, they explained to me how it works. So, for example, they do ice cream, and the ice cream are put in fridges, but they have to be at an optimum temperature to keep them to be the ice cream that you like before tomorrow morning people come and pick up for distribution. So in the past, what they did is that they put sensors on them in which could send them text messages. So as you go home as an IT manager or production manager, you can get text message that tells you when the temperature of a particular fridge falls below a particular threshold that is not acceptable. Now, when you fall below that one, that means that the fridge is not working enough and the ice cream will melt. So quickly, either you deploy people there to go and look at what is happening, or you yourself will show up. In the same way, cold chain sensor data can be measures that we are putting to measure the quality of that cooling system that we have, so that we can make sure that the refrigerated shipping does not lose its cooling, and then it's able to maintain it at an optimum level that can secure the pristine nature we want to see the product when we have it. The ladies here will tell you that when you have certain products and you don't cool them well, and the temperatures are different, it affects the texture of the product. Even ice cream itself, as soon as it freezes and melts about twice, you cannot even eat it anymore. Because the sugar will just melt and go down, and then the top part will just be milk. I don't know who has experienced that before. Or my ladies say you don't eat ice cream. Okay. I'm the only one who eats ice cream here.
Prof, I have, it's true.
Okay. Thank you very much, princess. You no wonder you're a princess. You eat ice cream. All the ladies here, they are not princess. They don't eat ice cream. Or they'll be eating farm milk. You eat Hazendas and Mars and the big ones. Okay. Then the primary sales marketing is inducing buyers to purchase the product and managing distribution agreements. That's what we'll be doing. Customer segmentation data, we need it. Price elasticity analysis, we need it. Promotional effectiveness on the local market. My engagement with Nestle has been telling us that some of the market women are their big account holders. You see them there with a tabletop and with the Nestle cafe just on it. If you tell you the volume of sales he drives at Nestle, sometimes about 1 million or 2 million Ghana cedis a month. And all we think is that this woman is just selling this thing. Because that woman has about 3 of those tabletop that you are thinking about. And all of them are pushing, and some of them are pushing it with egg and indomie in the evenings. Others are pushing it in the morning. Others are pushing it in the afternoon. So she has got different places that they are selling this Milo sachets with milk sachets and stuff, and it's moving very much. So they tend to respect and even like what they are doing to those people. The more than the big shops and stuff that I've got air conditioning, everything there. They're also driving value for them. Some of them are just the typical market woman that is selling the market space for them. Some of them are even selling to those same women. They are selling to young wholesalers who are trying to maybe break out in maybe the neighboring towns of those the towns that are neighboring to Accra. So somebody's in Dodowa, comes to see me in Medina, I give her some of the produce to go and sell in Dodowa. So that market woman is really cherished by and lauded by what's the name? Nestle, as compared to the big shops that are coming and they give them go and bring 3 sureties and all kinds of stuff. This market woman is doing the job and getting them value. Okay. Buyer volume forecasting. That's the same thing I was trying to emphasize. So you know that this person can generate this value for you. So you know how much can advance in terms of product to that person. Service is also a primary one. Maintaining the product's value post sale after we have actually prepared the product that we are selling, handling the quality assurance issues, especially in the shop. And set the customer feedback. Some customers may reject the product and say that it does spoiled, it doesn't taste well. Especially with fruit juice and fresh fruits. If you don't go and pick it up before it gets spoiled, you are in trouble. While some canned drinks can have the expiry date in about a month's time and still be wholesome to drink in the first of the month that is going to expire. With fresh fruits, they write the dates on it, and sometimes it's like 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. Today I saw an ad on Facebook and they were pointing out that some people have become very, very wicked. What they do is that they use some type of liquid to erase the expiring date, and they take a stamp and stamp new expiry date on the metal containers, those canned drinks. So if the canned drink, it has a new expiry date on it. You think the canned drink is okay, but it's actually expired. But these people have taken the stamp and they were showing them, they stamp that and then they put back on the market. So it means that after you're buying some of these canned drinks, you have to try and seldom buy them from a wayside or somebody who is not accountable. Somebody you cannot choose a person and go and find out. Yeah. Okay. Then we have technology development, R&D, process automation, system upgrades, and data governance. So we'll be learning about this ML, that's machine learning, optimization system. So we use it to be able to know what we can do to be able to gain better from our learning models. So our learning algorithms, which we'll talk about later. IoT network architecture, data warehousing cost and efficiency. Okay. So these are things that you may end up investing in to get technology development. Leverage technology for value. For example, if I have like the drone or have an Internet of Things network, I can be able to enhance my efficiency in them on the farm and then be able to gain more value in terms of the cost of the product. It can be reduced because I'm getting maybe better efficiency. Then human resources does a support activity. You can get the right data scientist. You have to also know how to keep him so he can get the work done for you. And then you also have supplier bargaining and power analysis, procurement. Can you be able to, you are buying from the farmers. You know, some of the companies, they don't own their farms. They support the farmers with certain produce, for example, fertilizer and things, and the farmers will plant and they will sell the products to the companies. And the companies will rather go and then process the fresh foods. Some companies also own some of the farms, but not all the farms that they need to be able to generate their value. So sometimes there's supplier bargaining power analysis because at the end of the day, the farmers now want more or want better. I think recently with cocoa, they talked about such a thing. Cost benefit analysis of getting new equipment and tracking commodity price fluctuations. So in Ghana, for example, there is a platform called Isoko. I don't know whether anybody about. I don't know whether it's still there. When I came from the US early, it used to be the Isoko. It's a software company that they have they're connecting. They have a marketplace that gives you the prices of agricultural products. So Isoko is here. So let's see pineapple. Let's type pineapple. Oh, no products for pineapple. Okay, they don't do fruits. They do legumes. So vegetable. Let's say shallot. Hey, they don't do the things I like. I say cabbage. Ah, okay. Either the software. Okay, pepper. I've seen pepper. If it tells me the pepper doesn't work, then I think there's something wrong with So this is a paper there. So let's see. So let's try and get some paper for our weekend. Oh, and paper 000. I think they don't have stock. So let's see. Those who like, why do you have vegetable and vegetables? This platform, is it working? Ghana that too. Okay, I've seen tubers here. So let's see yam tuber. Pepper 0. Okay, cowpea. So let's read this one. I have to have an account first, but I left this thing long time. Okay. So it looks like it's a marketplace. People post their products there and then they can do a bargain on it. So this should have been. Let me see what they have. Don't tell me I have to log in first. I'll be very happy. Hey, it's not me. We say it's not working. So you guys can see it's not working very well. I don't know what's happening to it. It doesn't seem to be working very well. Okay. Anyway, but it's supposed to have given us prices of farm produce. I think there are other ones now. There are quite a number of companies that also keep this statistics. Okay, let's continue with what we are doing. Okay, so good. Now the business model canvas is how we align strategy with analytics. So usually what it does is that it describes how companies create, deliver, and capture value. And then you can be able to ask yourself, what data would you need to capture? So customer segment, who are we creating value for? Good. European grocery chains for GH Fresh, grade A. And then local consumers for convenience and dry fruits. So it's clear. So this is something that you can feel and ask yourself that who are you target? Value positions. What do you want to offer to these people? I'm giving premium quality traceable pineapples. Data on soil health will be there. Data on the harvest date will be there. And then the cooling chain, once we're transporting to it, to be there. Please, I've answered the question, but let me ask whether people are listening. What is traceable pineapples? When you say traceable farm produce, what is it? Class, who can answer it? What's a traceable farm produce or traceable pineapples? Wow. Winnie, I didn't know. And then I asked my wife. My wife is the one who does research on makeup. Even makeup and other cosmetics need a certain temperature to stay in good condition. Interesting. Winnie, thank you very much. Okay. Oh, please, I'm asking a question. What is traceable? What is traceable pineapple? Yeah, Winnie, go ahead. Winnie, go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, so in my mind, I'm thinking that they work with farms where the pineapples are planted. So from seedling point to when they are planted to what is being put on the pineapple until harvesting, data for everything is collected. That is what I'm thinking.
So right now we have been talking about traceability in Agric a lot, and MasterCard and other companies have been working on a platform in which they can keep track of everything that is planted. And when you planted, the data on the soil health, how it was being, when it was growing, the date we harvested it, and then the cooling chain it has gone through in terms of the refrigerator carried it, and then how much temperature it was kept on until it was delivered to you in the UK or in Ghana. Now, they should be able to check it. The same way that shea butter too now they are doing the same thing. They want you to know the ones which are free of human labor, child labor. So ethical shea butter and all this. They try not to want to trace it. So is there information? Is there a platform that I can able to track that this one is a pineapple that has satisfied all the sustainability measures that we are looking at? So that's why I call traceable pineapple. So please, when you are, if you are in the company of GH Fresh and you are one of the consultants, don't just say that you are going to do premium quality products. Let us see the kind of thing that differentiates what you want to do. This is traceable pineapples. And then a consistent supply chain reliability. That means that for me, the value proposition that a company is offering is that I'm going to give European grocery chains premium quality traceable pineapples. Number two, I'm going to also make sure that in there getting the produce and the local companies, I'm giving them dried fruit at in their convenience. But I'm going to make sure that my supply is consistent and reliable, both in the US one, the European one, and in the one in Ghana. How do you reach the customer segments? That's the channels you're going to use. So the BMC model, there's a very, very good model. Now, one, automated order tracking, refrigerated shipping containers. That will solve the traceable pineapple. Local distributors, retail partners, e-commerce store for the dried fruits. Customer relation, how do we interact with customer segments? We will do an automated order tracking API integration. That means that we'll build a platform that can help us to be able to interface our customer segments so that they can even track what we are doing here. So by they linking through an API is kind of a technology that allows one system to talk to the other. So when we do that one, their systems there can be able to talk with our system in Ghana. So they can be able to even know the quality of the produce that we have and then the value that is being generated from that. Dedicated account managers, local market feedback loops. Okay. You have to also get information for the local market for the dried fruit. Revenue stream. So if you look at it, they chose I chose dried fruit. I avoided the fresh juice. Fresh juice is not easy to manage. So I chose dried fruit. So please make your choices very well as a company or as a consulting company for me. How does the firm capture value? We will export still per container pricing. So these are the container that that we fill. If we fill one container with traceable pineapples, how much does it cost? That's a retail sales, local retail pricing per unit pricing. That means that per one product, and then pricing, premium pricing for sustainability. That's a new pricing mechanism that requires the carbon footprint. How much carbon? How much less are we putting measures to reduce our impact on the carbon emissions in Ghana? So, for example, have I been able to do something so that we have when the car used to come down to Accra, it was always coming like 3 times a week because I was not having a predictable demand here and a predictable. I was able to track my output there too, so that I could be able to have a predictable harvest. So because I don't have a predictable harvest, I'm always putting things on the car to come down. But now that I'm able to streamline my system, the car is coming only once a week instead of 3 times a week. I've reduced my carbon footprint and in this manner. I've reduced my carbon footprint. I'm gaining the premium pricing for sustainability. So I can say that this product here has gone through no child labor, was planted under the right conditions. There's traceable information about them. And because of all this, I'm making it available. I'm giving a premium quality product. The sustainability measures that were taken into consideration and documented is there. And I can then see that the traceability information also is there. So I can say this is a premium price I'm putting up on my pineapple. Instead of selling one pineapple for 30 pounds, I'll sell the pineapple for 80 pounds because of all of these things. Key resources. What assets are required to offer the proposition? What do you need? I need a farmland. I need a processing facility, special talent, agronomists, and data scientists who can help me build the models that can track and then maybe those who can manage drones too, that can track what I'm trying to do. Proprietary harvest optimization models, a model I'll develop based on the statistics and information that I have. That can help me to know what I should put in and what I should expect. Key activity, what activities must perform well to make this one? If for the planting, if I don't get good crop management and irrigation fertilization, the products will fail. Then if I'm not able to do predictive analysis to project my yield forecasting, and in order to also make sure that I prepare well for the post-harvest quality control issues, I have a problem. Key partnerships. I would like to partner with an IoT provider, a logistic partner, a cloud computing provider for my machine learning platforms. And then what are the most important costs inherent in a business model? The labor costs, fertilizer inputs and costs, that's true. IT infrastructure costs, I'm relying heavily on IT infrastructure, and then labor, data storage cost. Okay. So this is what you would have done for us in that respect. But I've done this for you here. But as a group, you may have to do something like this for your own self to define where you are going. Lastly, this is what you take home. So scenario, Ghana Fresh is considering expanding its pineapple product export to the UAE. The UAE market is growing, has a high capital income, high values, high quality imported goods, but it's extremely sensitive to logistical reliability due to distance and heat. You know, distance between Ghana. So you are going to use this framework let me just show you the first few. You will choose the framework. They are you are going to analyze which of the PESTEL's forces or the 5 forces can influence what you're going to do in UAE. So for example, for PESTEL, the political can be one. UAE import tariffs. You say, I didn't put it legal, I said political. The guy was asking the question. Now, is it an opportunity or is it a threat? That's the thing you have to specify. Now, if you go and check the UAE import tariffs for pineapple and it's a threat, then you have to look at it. Political stability is high, but new non-tariff barriers related to food safety can emerge. And when they do that with food safety, it means that I could actually end up not being able to do that, export easily to the place. So that actually, so therefore, is it an opportunity or a threat? The import tariffs. Import tariffs seems to be more of a threat. And is it a high threat, a moderate threat, or a low threat? As of now, there are no tariff barriers that is preventing me that is influencing or affecting my food safety. But it could imagine a future. So I could say it's either moderate or low to moderate. I can say it's a low to moderate threat. It's a low to moderate threat. Number 2, economic. Oil price fluctuation. Is it going to be opportunity or threat? So I have to explain it. Oil prices mean higher GDP demand on UAE, higher fuel costs for refrigerators shipping. So if I'm going to export to UAE, my cost for refrigeration would have even gone higher. I may have to even fly it. So this is not an opportunity per se. When there's economic price fluctuation, it will be a threat for me. And this can be a very high threat because now it's going to increase my cost in travel, moving the thing. But it's not eminent. It's high, but it's not eminent. So I can write it's a high threat, but it's not eminent, or it's a moderate threat. Or a moderate to high threat. Then another one, technological, cold chain sensors. We mentioned that we're doing cold chain sensors. So GH Fresh must utilize advanced IoT cold chain sensors to provide quality during the long shipment and presenting an opportunity for differentiation. So that one is an opportunity for us already. Is it a low opportunity? It's a high opportunity for us, or a moderate. You can defend it. So I'm not going to show you everything here. The rest is in there. I'm going to just give you the template. Okay. So I'll give you the template and then let me see if I can get there. Okay, good. I'm going to give you the template and then based on the template, you can be able to.
You've not done anything wrong to me that I would stop not thinking about you.
Hey, let's listen. Let's listen. Oh, where is it? Hey, I am teaching and the people are doing romantic things. Who is called the set person is talking as a female talking. He has logged out. Don't ever come to my class again because this one they will investigate. It was the name is set, but the lady was the one speaking. Oh. And the lady said, "You have not done anything to me, so that I will stop thinking about you." I was from what in your class there are things happening there. So let's write a song for them. Said, please come back. come back, please come back, come back.
Can you compose the lyrics? You write the lyrics first.
Come for there. See how the girl was Monday. Oh, I don't know what happened over the weekend. Monday, you say that you've not done anything wrong. If they come to drop you, that's how they start from. Oh. It's not you, it's me. I think Seth received the call and put it on speaker. Oh, Seth, poor Seth. Please, do you know him? Those of you in the class. The ladies.
Prof, you are so much interested.
No, the ladies, I'm surprised though. You are not listening to Seth. Olivia, you have left Seth for himself and look at what he's going through. You could have taken him as a younger brother and given him challenge. This is how you manage ladies like this. So, and this Gen Z ladies, this is what you should do with them. The ladies come to drop him and he's telling that you have not done anything wrong. Hey, this guy. He shouldn't come to class again. Otherwise, you change his name. We'll find him out. It's good. It's said, come back. Come back. I'll give you 50 bucks. Come back. Said, come back. And it has been recorded too. I'll be recording. So, set. Not for recording, they are recording. We'll find you. Anyway. So all the time I'm teaching, somebody's heart is being ladies, why do you wait for the evening 8:49 and you break a heart like this? Oh, so I have to go for
Prof, it's not over yet.
Oh, the lady is saying it's not over yet. Okay. Okay. But what the lady said that you have not done anything wrong for me to. So is it for me to not mind you or for me not to pick something?
Prof, I thought your attention was on what you were teaching us, so you picked up all the sentences.
I was teaching the message that I can play the thing back to you. The thing I stopped when I heard the thing. I had finished it. I was going to show you your assignment and stuff, and the thing all of a sudden we started hearing. Let me be.
Prof, I think Seth should buy a shin guard because very soon the breakup will happen.
Yes, I think you should. But there are marriage counselors here who consult them.
I agree.
The ladies, please, I beg you. Somebody should reach out to Seth tonight. It might not be easy for him. He may be crying. You may ask him, tell you it's not true. It's I did my part and he settle. Anyway, you the ladies today you have got the men. Tomorrow, but you see, the problem is the men. When they disturb their heart, they can everything. All question goes away. He has left the phone there. He's crying small, forgetting himself. His whole mind is on a different plateau. So if you came to lectures, face-to-face lectures, and I don't know what would have happened to you in the class, you start crying in front of it. Anyway, so please, this is how. Said Ghana Fresh can give you free juice tonight to drink.
Cool your head.
So you can come. We'll give you free juice. So please, I will give you the custom project and I'll give you the template for you to do the analysis and look at all the things that could affect Ghana. Ghana Fresh from entering into UAE. Please, UAE, but you don't need a visa. I'm right. Or you get a visa on arrival.
Yeah, on arrival.
So if you get visa on arrival, then please send a ticket to Seth to go and spend some time there. Thank you very, very much. It's been a very interesting time spending with you. And I'll make this available on the platform for you guys. Good night. And then I will share I'll share the video by morning.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, please.
Please, I'm asking that we bear Seth in our prayers. Thank you very much.
Do that. I'll do that. I'll have to check whether I have a track. I don't have any track with the name set in it. I would have sent it. But for the songs, I said,
So, Doc,
Hello, dog.
Yes.
Your last class, you played some song for the other group. I was expecting that you close us with something.
Were you not in the class?
I'm not sure Seth was there.
Prof, Seth is back.
Seth is
With
back.
a different name, yes.
Mr. Joe is settled.
Mr. Joe, yes.
so
Investigated.
Prof,
Seth, yes, please. We are
so
here.
Prof, we are driving home, myself and 2 colleagues, and then they were talking. That's how come.
But we heard your name. Seth, it was your name we heard. You need to give us an explanation.
Seth, it's okay. We understand. We
in the car.
Explain, Taya.
You explain, Taya.
Seth, we
No
understand.
evidence.
Because that was empirical evidence.
Seth, don't worry. We understand.
It happens. We understand.
Seth, we understand. It's okay. We understand. It's okay. This one is not. No, the thing is sad to me, but I can't say much. But we know that you meant well. We know that you meant well.
Hello, Prof.
Yes, please.
Prof, please, has the class ended?
Yes, we have ended. We are relaxed. So
Okay. You are still recording.
oh, don't worry. So thank you.
And Prof, you want to